The Broken Man is a Roshana Patel script for the 12th Doctor Adventures, so if you're familiar with her work, you know you've got something good. Regardless, as part of a series produced by Alfie Shaw, I was already pretty excited. Patel has shown herself to handle the new series very well with the War Doctor box set Fear of the Light, expertly playing with new series lore, and working on a few modern Doctors or characters such as Missy or the Fugitive Doctor with excellent reviews. This story is no different. Following directly on from the second death, the Doctor and Ash visit Scotland, meeting a 30-foot tall robot and exploring their grief. Because that's what it's really about. The Scotland setting, exploring 2016 and around 5,000 years earlier, it's all great fun and an engaging part of the story in and of itself. What's clear as the episode goes on, however, is that it's really about the Doctor and Ash dealing with their individual grief. Ash having just lost friends and being from a pretty hopeless time in the universe, and the Doctor trying to accept the fact that he'll never see his wife again. It's really interesting how the Doctor really tries to help Ash, trying to be his Doctor, but in turn gets his own help from Ash, who sees the Doctor for who he really is a lot of the time. Ash sees very clearly through the persona he puts on, and sees at the heart of the Doctor in a way that he's not used to, and sees his own grief and struggles. I think this bond between them, formed by trauma and grief and hardened through adventure and struggle, creates a really interesting dynamic. Ash is very fragile, it often feels like he can crack at any moment, and he's not too easily comforted or helped by the Doctor. It's definitely a struggle for them both. And it makes for a way more intriguing dynamic than the usual Doctor-companion relationship. It's far more Doctor-patient, but who is who differs throughout the episode. It also deals with the idea of a hero, and whether a truly altruistic hero can exist, and whether or not the idealistic heroes we envision in stories are real or not. It takes me back to Alfie Shaw's position on the Doctor in the new series in his War Doctor box set Fallen Heroes, where the Doctor goes further than we often see him go to achieve his goals, because by that point he's a warrior, not the Doctor. The Doctor in the classic series was undoubtedly a hero. He just took his time getting there, but he became a true hero, an altruistic legend across time and space, a legend he spent the rest of his life after the Time War chasing, because he isn't that person anymore. Stephen Moffat put it very well in a recent interview.
The idea is, he is cruel and he is cowardly, but he tries not to be. And when he succeeds in not being that, he's the Doctor. He's this fictional entity he's created that he'd rather be like. But we know, because we've watched the show, he's frequently petty and selfish. I rather like that about the Doctor. He's an absolute egotist. He's a man of the people, but the people better get him tea when he wants it. He thinks he's better, literally, than everybody. You know, he's an absolute little tyrant. I love that about the Doctor. He's a properly flawed hero. In fact, he's so flawed as a hero, I'm not sure he counts as one.
I love the idea that the Doctor at his core is not just a fallible person, but a downright problematic character, an egotist, chasing an ideal he has long since abandoned and trying to live up to it. It's tragic, but also feels far more gritty, real and relatable. Maybe not all of us have caused the genocide of our own species, but we can relate to the struggle of trying to make the right decisions when we don't always do so, or trying to make up for past mistakes. It makes the Doctor a far stronger character and a greater hero because of it. What I love about Ash is that I feel he sees straight through the Doctor's facade, yet in this story they both learn that true heroes are out there. There are truly honest and good people, and it is worth trying to be one. That it's okay and normal to not be that person all of the time. It's not only a fun adventure, it's very much an exercise in healing for both of them. The Amber Giant, this enormous robot that went around the galaxy helping and saving people, can very easily be seen as a metaphor for the Doctor. There's parallels between them for who he used to be, and I think it really helps Ash see the best side of the Doctor and feel more safe to open up to him. It's what makes this story really special, the depth of character work and emotion weaved in what is just a solid Doctor Who adventure. I love how Ash, rather early on, is faced with the dilemma of time travel, the idea of being able to change history. Faced with a far more personal sacrifice, but for the greater good, I think it helps him further sympathise with the Doctor and understand his position. It's a tough lesson for him to learn, and the script doesn't shy away from that, and neither does the performances of Gwydion or Culshaw, who both come across so well in this story. They both shine in the more subtle moments of performance, which is really key. The emotional scenes that really build the dynamic and relationship between the pairing, which is what really makes this series work, and it's why it's shaping up to be something really special and unique. More great music as we've come to expect from Borna, complementing each scene and adding to the emotion, creating a greater sense of depth and weight to each feeling. There's one scene especially with the mixture of acoustic and electric guitar that's extremely powerful and is a beautiful scene. John Culshaw's 12th Doctor is still great if you ask me. As stated in the previous review, it's not as perfect or uncanny as Jacob Dudman's 11th Doctor and not as sharp an impression as some of Culshaw's other work, but it's a really great performance nonetheless. I take it as more an interpretation on the character, and it just goes to show how great an actor Culshaw is, as he really gets many of the emotional and key scenes really well. He comes across magnificently, especially with how he compliments Gwydion as Ash. Their chemistry is clear. Culshaw has mastered the speech voice of Capaldi, but also, being a comedian, really well handles the comedic moments with excellent timing and delivery, getting a laugh out of me almost straight away.
Hold on, there are people over there.
Now let's head that way.
Is that wise? They don't look friendly.
Don't be fooled by the stone tools. They have boats, architecture, agriculture, pottery, fashion. They're a fully functioning society, possibly one of the most advanced on the planet at this point. They pretty much invent stone circles.
And we're just going to say what exactly?
Hello? Has anyone seen a 30-foot giant?
He's on the cliffs.
Thank you.
It continues as we get to see more of the lighter and fun side of the 12th Doctor in this story, with the stakes not being so high. We get to see this duo shine as a normal Doctor and companion pairing, which is absolutely necessary. Whilst my favourite stories are the darker ones, the ones tied to big arcs and the extremely satisfying or shocking ones, these more casual adventures are needed to bridge the gap and to develop the characters, and the levity is absolutely necessary. Not to say this story doesn't have weight. Madeline, an archaeologist who plays a key role in the story, is really great and ends up having wonderful banter with Ash. Her and the Amber Giant really make the story work for the way that they help our characters along. They play a significant role in pushing their characters' arcs along and bringing them closer together, which is really impressive, especially considering it's a tiny cast. Writing the review for this episode only helps me appreciate the great cleverness behind the script and makes it go up in my estimations. It's so well handled and crafted to articulate what they're trying to say with this series. I am really loving the handling of these characters, and I'm looking forward to see where the story goes next. Gwydion Evans continues to deliver a remarkable performance as Ash. He captures the vulnerability of him so well, every emotional scene having such heart behind it despite being so alien and so far from the future, which is something I really love, and showcasing a complete lack of understanding of basic things from our time, such as even birds. He plays it really well, making it charming and just more for the character to learn. He feels extremely relatable due to his personal struggles. To me, this is the way a companion should be done. Relatability isn't tied to someone being identical to the viewer. I don't need each companion to be a carbon copy of me. It's why I roll my eyes at most modern companions being 21st century girls from London. I miss when we had alien companions and humans from across history, the past and the future. Ash is more interesting because of where he's from, but he is still someone the audience can see themselves in because he has a heart and he has problems and issues and struggles and a lot to work through despite the extreme circumstances. It's all the sorts of things that people go through at some points in their lives, and it's why, frankly, so far, I'm really impressed with Ash and Gwydion's stellar performance. The Broken Man is another exceptional episode in this run of stories from Run Fast, Be Kind. I cannot wait for next week to hear the next episode. I hope this review was enjoyable and has helped maybe a few of you consider picking up the series. As always, thanks for watching, and thanks Big Finish for giving us a truly great Doctor Who series to look forward to while the show is off air.